Hello and welcome to the Moose Hunt Podcast. I'm your host, Rob Fickett, and today, as you can see, we got a large crowd here. It's the largest one I've had on, and honestly, it's great to be up here in Eagle Lake, Maine with the guys.
Yeah,
I was able to sneak away for the day, so that's pretty good. And so today we got our dear friend and leader Nathan Theriault with us. We got Rob Mayo, myself, our dear friend Mr. Kenny Mayo, and the smart man of the woods, Mr. Dana Valleau. How you guys doing
Thanks
today?
for that. We're good.
yeah.
Awesome.
Doing well.
Yeah, it's
How are
awesome.
you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm super stoked to finally be back up here. I know I was up here a couple weeks ago in Portage, and I kept saying, I'm going to come up. Ended up just, melting in the cabin for a week. Everybody was like, it's too cold to go outside and do something. So I was able to ride for 3 days. Rode with Rob one day. Got lost.
Yeah.
Found our way back. But, it's good. But it's finally good to actually be up in Eagle Lake. So, yeah, feeling pretty good about that. Yeah. So we don't really know how this one's going to go. We don't really have an agenda. We're all together. We're having fun, and figured we might as well fire this up and see how it goes.
Yeah. Did you guys ride trails, mark trails, or did you go do some?
Yeah, it's funny. So we talk about Onyx all the time. And,
we knew exactly where we were going.
Yeah. This is the story of the trails on Onyx off-road not actually being 100% correct. Yeah. So we were riding from Portage, and I was like, hey, man, we'll see what's up. Other friends that I was with, they weren't ready to ride yet. And I was like, well, let's go do a short little 30-mile loop, and we'll come back and see if everybody's ready to ride. And it didn't really work. We got on ITS 90, took ITS 90 up around the loop road, came back to Beaver Brook, crossed it, and then there's the old club trail that comes off the right. And we took that, and it was supposed to be another right that comes off that and loops back around in the Portage. And it was not there. Apparently, it wasn't open this year, so we're riding the trail forever, and my sled's overheating, and I'm like, man, I need to get in some softer snow. So we finally get into some of these fields, and I'm trying to ride halfway off the trails through the fields, and still overheating.
We drive by a Family Dollar.
Yeah, we roll up behind a Family Dollar, and I'm like,
along where we're going.
Are we in Ashland? And I look at Onyx, and it was you're in Washburn. How the heck did we end up in Washburn? Yeah, so a quick 30-mile loop.
Beaver Brook Road.
Yeah, so a 30-mile loop turned into a 70-mile total?
I think 70 or 80.
By the time we got back, and I was like, yeah, dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, but it's okay. You blew your sled up the next day.
Yep, the next day, engine seized, trying to keep up with this guy. Yep.
Welcome to snowmobiling, huh?
It's so fun.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't ride the dog sled trails with me the next day.
Yeah.
We would have been way out there. We would have been out by Rocky Brook camps. You would have been blown up.
Yeah, that was a bad place to get stuck.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Nate, you've done some riding here, huh?
Well, it's been a short season. Last year was tough. This year was even tougher. But we got 4 weeks of it. It was pretty good. And did some did a snowmobile tour.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, got to get out there, do a little backcountry.
Yeah,
so that riding was nice, and got a few miles in. It was fun.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, our other passion.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But this right here is pretty.
Yeah,
exciting.
look at these things,
cornucopia.
Man.
Moose antlers out in front of us here.
Get you fired up right there.
Yeah, it's just good to be here with you guys. We got this Captain Dana, who knows a lot about a lot over the last 8 years.
Little about a lot, but yeah.
Learned a ton from Dana through the guide training that he's done, and he, just knows a lot about the woods, and has added a lot to us.
Thank you. Yep. So this year, Nathan last year actually, Nathan said, hey, we should put on a guide license training class. So kind of chipped away at it a little bit, put a lot of work into it in the last couple months, and that's why I'm up here.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
And one of our newer members, Rob Mayo, I told him to come along and help me out since he's a recently licensed guide. And I got thinking about how long I've been licensed, and I called the department, and their records go back to 1993.
Whoa.
And I was licensed before that, 1991, but they didn't have record of it. But they said, yeah, we see you had a license in 93. and our raft guide license database goes back to 92, and you were licensed then.
Wow.
And that was my third year having a raft guide license, and so I was like, okay,
What month
well,
did
so
you-
then 91, I got licensed to be a hunting, fishing, rec guide, so master license in 1991.
Yeah. What month did you
crazy.
get your license?
I think it was like January maybe when I finally got the license.
You got your guide's license the year I was born.
Oh no,
That's saying something.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's crazy. Well, and I at the time when you got all three, it was a master license,
Right.
and I got so much flack from older guys for being 24 years old and I have a master guide license.
Yeah.
And they're just.
It's funny because
And I wonder if that's why they changed it, because there was a lot of guides that were like,
Yeah.
They see I have a master patch on my jacket and like, how do you have a master, license? You're just out of high school. How does that work?
How so quick?
Yeah.
It's funny
right.
because when I took mine, I think they had just changed it, and so that would have been I was 18 at the time, so 2001. I don't know, but they had changed it so that you needed to do the hours.
Yeah.
So you had to have
Right,
a certain amount of
right,
hours in each category, and then you could be a master once you had the hours logged for each one of those.
Each category,
then
yeah.
you were,
And that's
then
the
you were
way
a
it is
master.
now. Yeah.
Yep. Right.
Yeah, so it's definitely it's changed a lot. I think it's good, and the course has changed a lot, and it's great we got Rob here because Rob took the course fairly recently, and I mean I remember I had Wiggy. I was telling you guys, Wiggy he's just a great guy, a legend. I mean it was I probably didn't realize who I was sharing a room with until later on in life, but. It was much different. It was pretty aggressive. The oral board was. I was 18 at the time, and so it kind of I think from what I heard, and this is just what I heard, but it got a little easier, and now they've started to make it tougher.
It was tough enough for me.
Yeah.
There's so much to know.
And GPS.
The
Right,
GPS
right.
is a new thing.
That's
That
a
wasn't
new
a
thing.
thing at
Which
all.
that's what everyone's using now.
Yeah. And when we took it, it was USGS 1 to 24,000 topo map and a compass.
Yeah.
Now it's the Lorm, Gazetteer, and the Atlas and a compass and a GPS. So it's
Combination.
yeah.
Got a lot more in there.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I don't know who carries a compass in the woods anymore, but
I
I do. Trust me.
Exactly.
Don't trust technology.
No.
Batteries fail.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everything
Things happen out
fails.
there.
Well, I was telling these guys during our map and compass session today that I was in the woods. I was doing some wildlife work up in the Boundary Mountains, and my compass was pointing the wrong direction. I know it was. I knew where I was. I'm like, this is not right. And I had a little old Garmin E-Trex. I pull that out, fire that up. It's exactly the opposite of what the compass says.
Really?
Yeah. And I found one of those anomalies that screws with your compass.
Mm-hmm.
Happened to me.
It
one
went
time.
up over the ridge, and they matched each other.
Really?
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
Using my GPS.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this just doesn't feel
Oh, the
right.
GPS wasn't working.
Yeah,
right.
pulled out the
yeah.
compass. I'm like, this can't be right.
Which one do I trust?
Well, exactly.
No, right?
And this is when GPS was relatively new, so I said, I think I'm going to just go with a compass, and I got myself out.
Yeah, and if I
But I
had
had
done
gone in
that,
the
I would have
wrong-
gone the wrong direction. But
that's
I
something,
kind of knew where I was,
Yeah.
more or less.
So
And I was
caught.
like, I'm going to use a compass to get the direct route out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah.
What's going on here? So, it's good to have both.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Neat. I mean,
Especially with like the satellite imagery.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
big.
yeah, satellite imagery is a totally different different scope from when we first started. Remember Bird's Eye when it first came out for the Garmin's?
It was the DeLorme
Yeah,
PN360. I'll never forget it.
PN360.
I'm gonna jump in on that because that was a pinnacle moment. I remember clearly. It was so introduce Huck the shed dog, Huck is a 10-month-old British lab.
Yeah, he's like, what about me?
Come over here, good boy. He's this dog is from RPM Retrievers. He is awesome, fellas. We're gonna have some fun in the woods. He's a shed antler finding
he's all
machine.
he's fired up with these things.
And he just wants to be on the podcast. So going back, it was a PN360, and I remember I heard this cow start bellowing, and I started to call, and I didn't get a response, and I'm like, you know what, we're going in, and this was kind of when we were just starting to really go in after these things. So I took and I looked on aerial imagery, and I found this old road, and I took a pin and I dropped it where I thought I heard her, and I went right in there, and I was lucky enough to call that bull into, I don't know, 12 yards, 50+ inch bull, and harvest that animal, and that was it. Like when that happened, it was like, this is huge. We had the PN3. The screen was so small.
Yeah, like,
zoom in. It's a good thing we were young because
that's right. That's right.
20 years old, that screen was like 50 inches flat screen. But now they've come a long ways, and technology's great, and it really does. You know when you can put that technology to use, it worked well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, and we had fun with it. We're trying to figure out all the different settings and
what each app will give you for
what
information.
each app will give you.
Yeah.
So depending on what you're doing, there's different apps that have different uses.
Yeah, for all of it out
like
there.
I have some of my apps broken up into their own folders. So my navigation, it's like my folder's like full of navigation apps.
Yeah.
I've got Navionics, I've got Onyx, I've got all kinds of different stuff for different applications.
Yeah, and then I mean what we've done with the KML files and overlaying them onto Onyx with our landing spots and emergency zones has been huge. And I mean, it's pretty amazing. You can build your own maps, build all your hunts and everything right online before you even step foot into the woods. Really nowadays, which is
sharing that stuff with the team has been
it's huge.
Super helpful.
It's
huge.
huge.
There's some guys that are here a lot, and there's some guys that aren't here as much as they maybe want to be.
Right.
And
exactly.
just to have access to all that stuff is
the knowledge, the access to knowledge, and to be able to share it now is, pretty remarkable to see.
Even with all that, this is a course we put together. I'm putting together. I start out with a USGS topo map and a compass to get the concepts down.
Oh yeah.
And that seemed to work pretty good. Yeah. Even though they're not going to test you on that, now you understand bearings and declination by working with a nice scale. A map that's at a good large scale, and you can actually understand
picture yourself
what's going
where you
on.
are in the map.
Yeah.
And I like some of the other things you incorporated in there. I mean, obviously, we're blessed to have been in this game for a long time and have learned a lot. And, to be able to incorporate some other aspects into the course, such as like the business development aspect and, some of the other stuff that we're going to touch on.
Social media.
I mean, it's evolved, so I think the course, being able to do what you've done with it and evolve it is really beneficial for people that are looking to, get into it and do more with it, and obviously pass the test, get the license. But there's a lot more to it.
So and there's a lot to it. And I'm trying to incorporate stuff that you're not necessarily going to get tested on.
Right.
But it's learning. It's background knowledge, and that's important.
Yeah. All of it. It's
old school thinking is important, even in all the technology.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So exciting
with an old school trade like hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have the basics, right?
Yeah.
You know,
And you learn every day.
keep learning.
You don't think you're learning every day.
That's right.
You're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
And no, you can't learn what we know out of books
No.
for the most
No.
part. Yeah.
You want to be humbled, step foot in the woods.
Yeah,
That's
Unfortunately.
that's just the reality of it right
Yeah.
there, right? You know, no matter who you are.
It's definitely it's cool. I like the setting. We're in the rack room. Got a couple new additions in there from last year that we were successful in harvesting. I think we're going to talk some more about that. We were blessed to be able to take No Name and Top Gun after a 4-year pursuit.
Yep.
So that was just a huge blessing. God put that opportunity in front of us, and so just 10 racks in there over 15 years of history with those bulls, and being able to sit in there and learn from Dana. And it's just it's cool, and I'm excited for what we got coming here. We got some
stuff happening.
Got some stuff happening.
Hibernation is over, boys.
Yeah, I mean, it seems early. I mean,
really early.
Yeah.
But if you look at
Well, what is today?
21st.
What's today?
What is that?
That's spring, right? First
It's
day.
First day of spring.
Yesterday. So we're here.
Spring. We're
It's
here.
sprung.
Yeah.
We're here. All that rain. I mean, it seems like it, and we're not too far off from finding these guys right here.
Bulls are already starting to grow antlers.
Really, it's wild. Yeah.
Antlers are springing.
Our first time out last year, Nate, you and me went in after Frosty was the 15th last year, March 15th. And we think about how much snow was still then. So it's pretty comparable if you think about in the woods right now.
It really is.
It's not too far off. That last big rainstorm that we've gotten here really did. But
from what I saw up here, we had a couple big storms. It was really fluffy snow, and it stayed that way. We didn't have a lot of the melt and the rain, and there's not the layers that.
February was cold.
Yeah, right.
It was cold. It didn't really pack. It didn't really do anything. So now when it warmed up a little bit, it's just going fast.
Yeah, it's good to see.
St. John's flowing.
Yeah, ice is out. You can see it all the way up.
Eagle Lake had some of the most amount of ice I've seen in a long time, and a really good ice, like black ice. But it's going fast.
Yeah.
I saw that down country too. Even just 15 inches of ice on Unity Pond, and it was all black ice.
No kidding.
You don't see that often.
Yeah.
When it got cold, it happened. And
Yeah, it's time. So we're excited. I mean, it should be a good year. Got a couple of hit listers out there we're going after, huh? Yeah. Gonna put the miles on, see if we can pick up some drops. Old Huck Dog, get out there.
Got the he is jacked up. Been working with him every day.
Yeah. Fired up about
Ryan
that.
Miller.
Yeah,
He's
awesome
been coming
friends.
up. Last year was the second year.
Yep.
He was very thankful. He actually worked with Huck for the first 6 months because he was going to be ready during the hunting season. There's no way.
Couldn't happen. Could not happen.
He's such a good dog. We're excited. I will say that with the shed dogs, we're kind of jumping into the shed thing, but we're talking about what's coming. So, we've done this for so many years. I mean, we're really out there looking for very specific animals.
Yeah.
We're not looking for antlers. We're looking for specific animals. And we put on a lot of miles, and we have a lot of eyes out there. And, we have a method to our madness.
Yep.
And we're successful. But since I've been working with a dog and with Ryan and Scott and all the crew that comes up, RPM retrievers, those guys, I feel bad for them because you really got to slow it down. You got to let the dog work.
Yeah.
And let them cover that ground so you don't have to. So I'm excited to.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Put as much pressure on
it would be real nice.
Remember to pump the brakes.
Yeah, gonna pump the brakes a little bit here. Let the dog work. So
that's right.
So maybe going to change up some things, but great, like you said, Kenny, man, we got some, December was awesome. I don't even think we've covered any of our aerial that we did in
No.
December, but I mean, it was fantastic. The
You
population.
found some shed. You and Katie found some sheds in December, didn't you?
We found a couple from the bird. Actually, had just got him and walked him into one of them, so he got to see.
Yeah,
He went right to it at like 7 months. You know? It's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing, but I know I'm supposed to be here. So I'm just happy to be with you guys. But it looks really good. The age structure looks good. The population looks good. And I'm going to be honest, we've been flying for over 20 years now, and I don't see much of a difference as far as how many animals I actually see out there.
Really?
The population is strong, and it seems healthy. The age class is really good. I mean, the bulls, from 1 year old to whatever 12. I mean, obviously I can't tell how old they're on their feet, but when I'm looking at their racks, I mean, they're quality racks. From your small bulls to your big bulls, and one thing I will
4 or 5, 6 year old bulls have real nice animals.
Oh yeah,
really
from
nice.
the ones that we've harvested. We get the age report, and it's like they're fairly young moose with very nice racks.
And you nailed it. Like we've had we're going on 3 easy winners. So coming out of the rut, these bulls are breeding up through November. And they're able to get up into the hardwood ridges and eat those soft masses. They're not switching over to the spruce and fir and that very low
they're mobile
protein.
for at least another month before
they're regaining that energy. They're surviving the winters. They're not even really grouping up for the most part.
No,
they're spread out. I'll be honest, there was only about a week where I started seeing moose tracks on the snowmobile trails. Which usually when there's a lot of snow, they're on the snowmobile trails. And it was only for like a week this year.
Good.
And then the snow went away and they dispersed, and so it's going to be exciting. So we got shed season coming out.
I'm looking forward to it.
We're pumped up about that for sure.
Yeah, Kenny and I tried to go in one road today on the way up. We could have kept going, but we realized that everybody else was in class. If we got stuck, we would have had to wait. We hadn't eaten yet.
We're sometimes that age, a little wiser, a little bit wiser.
I'm excited to turn around.
I'm going to be honest. Since the dog came, I was like, let me just go out there and see what it's like. And it got to one point where I think Huckett just had his 2 front paws sticking out of the snow, and he's looking at me. He's like, what do I do now? I'm like, let's just go. There's places where there's not much.
That's what we were looking at. So that's good. It's exciting.
Well, we got a few other things we can.
A couple other things coming up here. Big deals here, huh?
Yeah, geez, we got a busy 3 weeks here. You guys got the guides class this week. Next weekend's the Augusta Maine Sportsman Show.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a great time.
And the weekend after that's the
Maine Professional Guides Association banquet.
Yeah, and that's always a great time.
Yep, it's a great time.
I always end up spending way too much money.
We all do, right?
Good to support them.
Great association.
Good for cause.
And the turnout last year was phenomenal.
It's awesome. They're doing a good job with it.
Can't wait to see it this year.
It's probably going to be just as elbow to elbow.
So that was the problem. I couldn't get to talk to everybody because
there's too many.
I can't get through there. The beer line's free. I'm going over there.
And the Sportsman Show, come visit us at the Maine Sporting Camp Association booth. We'll be there. We'll be there talking old sporting camps.
Talking about all the camps that are out
there. Big moose, grouse,
anything.
Trout, whatever else is out there. We'll be talking about it.
We'll be talking about
log cabins.
Log cabins.
The history, the tradition.
The lakes.
The sporting camp history.
It's a good time.
Which it's a pretty long history.
It is, Actually, Maine has the oldest and the most sporting camps in the country.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. That's real cool.
Keeping that going is important because, I mean, just some of the history, just Eagle Lake sporting camps. I mean, you had Ted Williams, Bing Crosby, doctors and lawyers, and so it's pretty neat. Come visit us.
Yeah. Do it up. It's going to be a good time. And then, of course, the lottery.
Yes. June 21st.
That's what it
Yeah,
comes
we're
down
already
to.
planning. We're talking about, hey, what are we going to do because we got if you're in Maine or if you want to come visit, we got quite the big booths.
Please.
Space.
Yeah, come on and visit.
Yeah, we ended up getting two spots, so we're going to set up a big old tent and big old place to just hang out. Hopefully, if they got some power, we'll try to rig up some battery power.
Where is it this year?
Farmington Fairgrounds.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
Farmington, Maine.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast.
Western Maine. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. It's going to be a real good time. We'll have the crew there. Have some racks. Check out. Hopefully find some new sets here.
Yeah.
Show off. That's the goal. So
yeah. Hopefully record some podcasts over there.
Yeah. Talk to some people. Talk to
especially
everybody.
the winners.
Yeah.
People that win their
Yep.
You know, that's always exciting.
Yeah. What a blast to hear. Look, it's been real cool to see people the last couple of
Any
years.
you're going to put in this year for a hunt? Or
Yeah, this is the.
Can you put in?
I am finally able to draw again this year.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope my father-in-law gets it.
I've just been doing the points just because.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a lot of points right now.
Yeah, 60 is going to be hard to beat. So
your first
when I need it. It took a long time.
Like 20 something.
Yeah, over 20
Over
years.
20. Yeah.
I got drawn in 2006.
Yep.
That's the only time I've been drawn.
So you're coming up on the same time frame.
Yeah. And I put in for the first one, 1980, and then there was a gap year, I think, and then I mean, my brother and I used to always put in.
Nice.
And we were little kids, but we always wanted to go moose hunting, and it took a long time.
Yeah. But it was worth it. You got a phenomenal bull.
Yeah, smasher.
Yeah.
Got a smasher.
It's good to be lucky.
Yeah.
And Nate, you got to sit a little bit here.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it.
So you got another 3 years for you drawing it?
Yeah.
I got to wait 4 years because last year got it.
Yeah.
Struck out, didn't get a bull. Had a great time out there. Had some opportunities.
That's what it's all about.
Probably should have got it done, but
Yeah.
didn't. And I was a little handicapped going in. Shouldn't have fell off that roof, but
Yeah.
I could blame it on a
Should
lot.
not fall off the roof.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah, right. Excuses.
I'm going to give it a little bit before I get number 5.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. You've had some permits yourself, haven't you?
I got one. I've gotten one. It was back in 2010.
Yeah.
Zone 1, and that's it.
Yeah.
Shot him with the old muzzleloader. I'm telling you, that's where it's at, guys.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. The old muzzleloader. It's fun. That one shot. And you get a little bit more distance in the bow. So than what they're making nowadays out there, holy moly. I mean, some of those muzzleloaders, 250 yards. It's no problem with the 250 grain Sabit. So, but yeah, it was fun. But yeah, so I'm still applying. I got points, putting in for points.
Yeah.
So, should be due here, I would imagine. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Your wife's drawn.
Yeah,
You got one?
my wife drew, and I'm still waiting for my first one.
There you go.
You
But
gonna
I'm
guide
picky. My wife, brother.
Yeah, that's what I
Good
figured.
answer.
She's in the class. So
Yeah.
she'll be
Yeah,
good.
yeah. She's gonna be. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what he likes to hear.
Yeah, just remember, don't guide the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do whatever she says.
Yeah.
Yep. Tell me where to go. Yeah.
You
She's got
will
a pretty
walk.
good cow call.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Put the
Yeah.
miles to you.
My daughter's been doing. I like to say she's been doing cow calls. So obviously, I watch a lot of YouTube videos,
Yeah.
and I'm always doing it all around the house. Carly tells me to shut up all the time. But so she has like these like plastic straws, but they're like fluted. You know, like how in a buck, right?
Yeah.
Whatever they're kind of fluted.
Yeah.
But you can pull them out, and they're really long. So I'll look at her all the time and be like, "Arr!" And she looks at me and she goes, "Arr!" And she, randomly, I'll be in the kitchen, like, I don't know, making dinner or something. I can hear from the living room, just, "Arr! Arr!" And she's just got the straw hanging out of her mouth. And I'm like, that's
Nice.
awesome, man.
Nice.
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Make a new design there. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. She's onto something.
Yeah.
Love
I'm just
seeing
going to
the
start
kids
carrying
outside.
that around the woods in the fall. Just that straw.
Right. Straw.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we love seeing the kids out there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
awesome.
Yeah.
Get them into it. It's fun having the youth hunters. It's good. Got to keep it going,
Mhm.
right?
I mean, they are the future, essentially.
That's it. 100%. No questions. I hope they're the future.
That's true. Yeah. We can't carry it on forever.
No, it ain't gonna happen. So
Yeah.
nice. Good deal, man.
Wow. Anybody else got anything else they want to talk about? Oh, come on.
Just excited. I'm moving up here.
That is
There
true.
you go.
Hey, there you
everything,
go.
selling everything. I'm moving up. I'm working with Nate now.
Big
Awesome.
news.
Yeah.
Good deal,
exciting.
man.
That's crazy. Just dropped everything in Southern Maine and said, all right, moving to Eagle Lake.
It's finally time.
Yeah.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah. Well, you've been living in northern Massachusetts for
It's
a
been
while.
bad,
so.
man. It's been real bad.
Yeah, it's getting really
We're in a good
crazy
spot
down there.
though. We got woods around us, but it's not like this.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
I was telling him earlier. Well, actually, a couple other friends we ran into at Dean's, but just like once I crest over Bangor, it's almost like just inside you're just like,
Yeah.
all right, we're going north. Like this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit that line.
Yeah,
I think it's
you know,
when I hit
Hornell's
the-
the edge of the big woods.
I think
the
it's when I
trees
hit the
change.
75 mile an hour.
Yeah. Get above
Is it
old
75
or
Sandy?
no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
75. Yeah.
75.
Yeah.
Rip it.
Yep. Right
Guess we
after
can thank the page
Stillwater
for that.
exit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a good move. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great move. I like that. Oh,
Yeah.
good
No,
deal.
we're excited. I'm excited to have you up here, Rob, and
Yeah.
Get
glad
you-
I got to come up.
yeah. Well, we got a lot going on. Super excited about this year. Team is awesome. We got guide training coming on.
Mhm.
Great outlook for this year. Got a big year lined up again, and everybody's just constantly improving. We're all trying to better ourselves out there, better the team. Blessed to have the resources that we do to be able to get it done like we do, and
Yes.
and man, we're just excited. This is like the kickoff,
Oh
This
yeah.
is it. Start the year.
Yeah,
There we go.
Incorporated Dana's new guide course in, and we had some fun last fall. I'll tell you, it was I had my sense of adventure out there, but you guys crushed it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was a
Oh, I
blast.
had a blast. It was
Yeah.
so much
Did
fun.
real
It was a
good.
great
Yeah.
100% out of the camps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Both
Yeah.
weeks,
It was
September
awesome.
and October. Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah,
Yep.
and actually, one of the things that we could touch on too is obviously we've been doing some veteran hunts with some Gold Star families that have just put everything on the line for us to be able to do what we do, and they've been able to come up here on some moose hunts, and we actually did a hunt through one of our clients at his ranch in Texas. So,
Yep.
and Montana Grit put 3 ladies together out there. One of them was a Gold Star, but all combat veterans, and they came out and just crushed it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
got some really nice whitetails and a few axis deer. Had a great time. So fun. Katie was out there. Actually brought Autumn, 7
Mhm.
years
Oh,
old,
nice.
and yeah, she let one fly at a buck, but it didn't get.
Oh, so
didn't,
she
didn't
did.
happen.
She
Yeah,
did
she
shoot a
did.
one,
Yeah,
though. Oh,
she
that's
did.
cool, man.
She did. Yeah, and she'd been practicing with a crossbow. It happens. And I'm gonna put some of that blame on me because I didn't range it. So 20-yard
Did
miss.
you have a rangefinder
Classic.
on you?
Yeah.
Ah!
So yeah, I wasn't a very good guide for that, but it was an
That'll
awesome
be in the
time.
test.
It was super fun to do that. Excited to do that again. Lanham's opened up his place out there, and he's just his family's just amazing, and be able to be out there with great folks and
Yep.
doing the veteran thing, and like yourself,
Yeah.
appreciate everything you do and have done for this country.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that was something that we did. And then other than that, I mean, it was a great year. We got No Name.
It's been great.
I didn't get to see it, but Kenny was there.
Yeah.
Bryce, you guys got to see that thing.
I was really
Oh yeah,
happy.
we got to carry him out of the
I
woods.
think I heard the
Actually, I
screaming.
think Kenny carried the whole thing out.
Yeah, I was so
He's
excited.
jumping the head, and he
Yeah.
carried the head out. But
I was so
Yeah.
excited.
I heard some
Yeah.
hooting and hollering
Yeah.
from that.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, that was really awesome to see. That was a nice
7
bull.
trucks parked on the road there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
that was
crazy.
glow stick alley going down through in the rain. It was awesome. Mr.
Yeah.
Burger. Yeah, got a very nice
And that
bull.
bull scored 171.
Yeah, so we went down. I think, I mean, we didn't have him officially, the sheds officially scored, but I think he went down from what we greened him at, like a couple inches from his sheds, but we could have greened him wrong. Or he was really close, and that's what we noticed right off the bat is that, like, the set and then him were almost identical, almost no growth.
Did we get the age on him?
It's on there. I'm pretty sure. I think he was 8.5.
Yeah, I think that's
it's
what.
interesting because most of the bulls we harvest are that 8.5.
Right in that 8.5.
On those target bulls, they're really
right around 8.5. And we've always said that. We're usually
They're coming into their prime.
we
6.5,
think
7.5,
yeah.
8.5.
Yeah, that's what we've found.
And then maybe they go into decline after that. Some of them might last another couple of years, but they get tired.
Yeah. Winners, I mean, everything, injuries,
and then Top Gun. So this was an interesting one because Top Gun was a 4-year pursuit, and when we really had Top Gun pegged, the cross bull, which was harvested by a Gold Star combat veteran,
2 years ago,
very cool. Name was very fitting, and emotionally so, and. Crossbull, we got a picture of him in Top Gun's area, and Top Gun had run him out, took his cows, and we lost track of him.
Yeah, he was gone, which is very interesting.
It was. So that put us in 2023, and on an aerial flight, we spotted. I was more interested in this other bull, but we were Bryce was taking pictures, and he got to looking at him and identified Top Gun.
Yeah.
And in 2023, he was much smaller than 2022. We tried to find his sheds. We couldn't. We got his rack for 2022. And then for 2024, which was last year, we harvested him. He was a giant. He filled right. I don't know what happened. 2022, he was huge. 2023, he lost a significant. I mean, we're going from aerial photography. But he lost a significant amount of size. And then in 2024, he absolutely blew up. So, and I'm not sure. Do we remember the age on him?
Well, from what it said, it was 15 and a half.
15 and a half. Interesting.
So, which is very interesting, and
that's old for
that's a very old to have this set of antlers that he had to be that age.
Not to mention how aggressive he was.
Right.
Coming in.
Yeah, he came in all fired up.
Fired up.
But interestingly enough, he was right back in the same spot that he had been.
Yeah,
he went right
would
back.
have been interesting to see his molars and.
I never got to look at his teeth or anything like that. So I would have loved to have seen what they looked like.
A moose that old should have some significant wear.
Yeah, they should have some real wear. Yeah.
So it's so cool to see these bulls and just see how they grow. And as much as we can pull into play about weather and stress and all the other environmental factors that these moose go through, genetics actually, from what I have seen and what I believe is what prevails the most in rack growth and development. You know, if they're genetically inclined to grow big antlers, I think they can modify a little bit based on some of those impacting environments, but I think genetics really holds it. And one of the things that we've also, I think, noticed is the fact that the bigger racks out there typically hold the smaller bodies. No, they're just putting
a lot with deer.
The same with the deer too.
Yeah, they put more. It goes more into the rack.
Like I've seen a lot of like 170, 180 pound whitetails here in Maine with massive racks compared to over 200 pound.
Basket 8-pointers. I totally agree with that. And then how different one side of an antler can be from the other side. How many times have we sat there, even finding the set, being like, "Are we sure this is this?" You know what I mean? Other than having a picture of the bull, you would think they were totally different animals from the sides you find. It's pretty remarkable.
It really is.
It's pretty remarkable.
They have an injury, or he set up for winter in the wrong spot, and he had a rough winter, and he couldn't get to the feed that he needed, and just came into spring in poor condition and had to put his energy into body instead of antlers. Could have been his small year. You know, something you never know. Something like that. Though.
It's very interesting.
There's a lot of variables that go into it. but I think you're right on genetics. There's some bulls, some deer are predisposed to have big antlers. Genetics are what supports that.
Oh yeah, we've seen it. I mean, with the three amigos, we've seen it.
And you know something else too? After hunting these areas, as long as we've been hunting them, I mean, we're going on 20 years in some of these spots.
Yep.
Obviously, they move a lot, but for the most part, we're in relatively the same area. That said, it's 40 square miles.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right. It's a big area, but the consistency in the look of the bull seems to be the same. So the breeding that's occurring in these areas are producing a certain look to the rack, which is also interesting. Take like Big Dodge for instance, with the big pans. And everybody wants the pans, and and it seems like where these bulls have come from, year after year, it seems like there's pans in those areas. Yeah. And there's other areas that are more of like wide, but stringy rack. It's cool to just see how it's all evolved and all that over time.
Yeah, crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's real cool out there.
I can't wait to see what they look like this year.
Oh, I can't wait. There's some smashers.
Yeah, and they've been cutting a lot.
A lot of cutting out there.
A lot.
Spruce budworm.
Spruce budworm was the big thing that they were worried about.
Concerned with, a lot of cutting going on.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see what feathers were rustled and where they are.
Rip the jammies off.
Rip the jammies right off.
Man, that's what it's going to expose a lot of areas.
Yeah. I'm looking, especially a lot of areas I've hunted the last couple of years just got mowed down. So I'm looking forward to see how to rework those.
Mm-hmm. That's when your map encompassing will
come in.
That's right.
Yeah.
Going back to
going back to the class right there and how to read it.
I just got to go see if any of my cameras went through a Forester. So
that's the other thing out there. I think.
I had a tree stand go.
I heard.
Yeah, but no.
They didn't cut around it.
No.
It
was. They didn't see it
because we had that bear stand that they topped the tree and
left that one right
in the middle of the cut.
No, this one didn't.
Bumped it. Yeah, I don't even think they just bumped it. Doesn't take much.
No, not with a piece of equipment that size.
I kind of understand, because if I was on one of those things, I'd just be like, zone tunnel vision. Watch out.
Yeah,
I've seen you with the barbed wire wrapped inside the mulcher.
That's right.
Out there with a grinder trying to cut it up.
Poor Tommy out there.
Yeah, good deal, man.
But yeah, super pumped to be here with you guys, and got 2 Mayos on the team. Rob moving up here, Meg. Excited to have you guys. We're going to be getting out there doing some shed hunting.
Well, if that's the case, then it's 3 Mayos.
3 Mayos, yeah.
Yeah, 3 Mayo. 3 Mayo special.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I see Kenny's wearing the sweatshirt, but go Bears.
Go Bears.
Yeah.
Black Bears.
Black Bears.
We were up. Bear hockey, crushing it.
Yeah, we were up on the Northeast, the championship. Yeah. Before we started this, I mean, it's just, for my phone, it's been buzzing. So
maybe that's a good cue to end this.
There you go.
Yeah,
sign us off there. Sign us off there, big guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, awesome. Well, thanks for listening, guys, and if you're watching, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and keep doing what you do. Take care, and God bless.